Now. Hey, I think we're live. Hi, I'm the real Manos. And behind me somewhere in the kitchen is my co-host and wife, Lindsay.
Hey.
And we are going to be doing a live show for the next hour where we talk about some stuff that's happened over the course of a week, I think. And, oh, look, it's a wild Lindsay. And let me just kind of share this link with you. And hey, look, I'm already there. Let me just put this on mute. And let me share some stuff. Okay, share it on Twitter and share it on Facebook. You take forever on Facebook. Okay, we're live. You know, this is great because if you go to my Facebook page, you can actually see me type what I'm actually saying right now. You can piece it together like some beautiful mystery. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Here we go. We are live.
Sorry, I keep interrupting your shots.
No, it's called walking in the background in your own apartment. There we go. All right. Hello, how are you? I'm just going to be sitting here with Lindsay, and we're going to be talking about some cool stuff. Hi. All right. It's the day after Valentine's Day, which is a devastating day to most everyone. Let's see. And I don't know, never been a big fan of it, but we had a nice time yesterday. We went out and ate, we did comics, and we were going to go see a movie, but we weren't in the mood to see Parasite.
I didn't want to see something serious.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, let's go see Parasite on the Day of Love. So we just did, let's see, we just were mall rats. Lindsay and I I was a teenager in the 80s, and Lindsay was a teenager in the 90s, so we're kind of natural mall rats.
Yeah.
So we decided to hang out there. And let's see, we went to FYE and picked up a few things. I was thinking about buying a book at Barnes & Noble, but instead we saw some really cool stuff there. Like I mentioned, Lindsay and I don't think we're ever natural fans of Valentine's Day, so celebrate. We've kind of been watching like horror movies a lot. Like
it's my favorite way to celebrate things.
That's true.
I like the chocolate of Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
But I like the horror movies of Halloween.
Yes. Because I first spotted this. This is a Wonder Woman box set of season 1. That's just $10, so that was a good deal. And we saw Return of the Living Dead, which I have never seen. I gotta tell you, like, I gotta confess, this came out in like 85 or something like that. And I was 85, 84, and I was a kid that was still kind of scared of horror movies in my early teens. So this one kind of like the Tarman thing really kind of didn't need no favors. So over the years, I've become like kind of big horror fan. So it was time to pull the trigger on this. So we actually spent Valentine's Day watching this, which was actually a lot of fun. And what actually inspired us to do some horror stuff was we thought, you know what's a good Valentine's Day movie? Get Out. And we're gonna purchase Get Out. I think the regular one was like $15 or something like that.
10, I think.
10.
And that set was 15.
And this set was 15. And this is 8 Blumhouse horror films, and it has Get Out, Split, The Purge, Anarchy, Purge, Election Year, Unfriended, Ouija, Origin of Evil, and The Visit. And this has some great movies and Unfriended. So it was like, well, I mean, you know, because usually when I see box sets like this, it's usually like Night of Living Dead, Last Man on Earth, and some really crappy crap because they're usually like public domain horror films. But nope, this is a Blumhouse special. This is amazing. If you can find this like Blumhouse 8 horror movies collection, this is really good. I'm looking forward. Let's see. I have already seen Get Out, and I haven't seen any of the others. I'm not interested in checking out the Unfriended though. But definitely that looks like a good buy. Hey, somebody's joined us. Hey, King John. Oh yeah. I have decided to talk a little bit about let's see, the test footage they just released with Robert Pattinson as a Batman. I thought I decided to wait until I got a few people like hanging out here in the chat before I really seriously started talking about it. Before I go into that, this past week, I forgot to bring my comic books in from the other room, but about 2 comic books this week. I bought the Amazing Spider-Man issue 39 and X-Men number 6, and I was blown away by both of them, and for different reasons too. They were very different tones. Excuse me. The Spider-Man issue is called My Podcast with Jonah, and apparently J. Jonah Jameson has got himself a podcast, and it's absolutely as great as you might think it is. He is so not a modern technology guy. He's so not a modern media guy, but he is who he is, and he gotta give it up to him. He's willing, in order to maintain his presence, he will adjust, and it's kind of funny to hear him interview Spider-Man for a podcast. Absolutely great work. X-Men number 6 is a Mystique issue, which gets into some dark stuff with the X-Men. Charles Xavier and Magneto are putting Mystique through missions, and the one thing she wants is for them to use their resurrection technology to bring back her wife, Destiny. And what's cool is she actually uses the word wife, which has been a debate on how her relationship with Destiny has been. And that's one thing I've heard about. Like I've heard like Chris Claremont talk about like all the way. I mean, he was writing X-Men in the 80s and 90s, and he wanted that to be an official canon couple, and Marvel went budge on it. And now it's ripped that seal off. And it's great because it's such a well-written issue, and all she wants is for them to bring her back, and they keep postponing it, and you go, oh well, we got to do this and don't worry, we're going to do it. And it flashes back to this conversation throughout the issue she has had with Destiny while she was still alive, and it ends with Destiny telling her what is going on right now. There will be a island. It's not the first, but it will be the last. And Charles and Magneto are going to lie to you about giving you something. And if they do not, you're going to burn it to the ground. Oh man, this is some good stuff. God, Jonathan Hickman is great. Absolutely great issue. So I decided I'll be doing a comic reviews of those 2. I've already recorded a review of Amazing Spider-Man 39. I'll probably record an X-Men 6 review tomorrow. Let's see, King John. Hey, may have checked this story out. Seems cool the way you're describing it. Yeah, both are great. Both are really great issues. The Spider-Man one is hilarious because Jonah and Spider-Man dig into each other. They're arguing. And they're still covering up because Jonah knows Spider-Man is Peter Parker, but they're kind of keeping that on the down low for the benefit of the public interview. But they're really kind of jabbing each other, they're really mad, and it doesn't hold back. It's really great stuff. Bizarro Critic, hey, how's it going, man? Good to see you. I haven't started talking about the Batman test footage yet. I decided to give it a few minutes. Where are we? 10 minutes? I'm kind of chat a little bit more before I really kind of start talking about it. Until then, I will enjoy some green tea, this Arizona green tea in my Count Chocula glass. What I was thinking about doing for a future live video is, would you be interested in playing a board game with me for like a live game? Like, we have a couple of these games we don't do shit with.
We could totally do that.
Yeah. And maybe I should start doing like, I was thinking about doing some like giveaways and games and stuff like that for the live show. I may do that soon. I was actually just thinking about doing that. Maybe if I'm able to build an audience or something like that. So, all right. I guess I'm gonna get to talking, and if you miss me talking about it, well, that's tough. That's just tough. So, all right. Hey, that Batman movie's coming, and we're all kind of like paying attention to it. So, all right, Robert Pattinson. We got Matt Reeves doing it, and it takes place in the early days. Batman he's getting started. It's kind of got a year one thing going on. It's just supposed to be a more grounded mystery centric film, which is really cool. And let's see, they're still kind of a little bit hush hush on it, and they just released this test footage. Not too dissimilar to the test footage they ran with the Joker film, with music and, kind of like, trying to kind of, get a mood and an idea of the actor as the character and see how it looks on film and stuff like that. And that's a really smart thing where they've been like releasing it, kind of like maybe they did this one knowing full well that they'd be releasing it instead of just at the spur of the moment changing their mind. And of course we have this, I don't know if this music is from like the soundtrack they're doing, but it's very cool. I don't recognize it, so I assume it's from this film, where we get to see Batman walking out of this like red smoke and stuff like that. And we get a good gander at his bat symbol right here. The bat symbol is really interesting because it doesn't really have the pointy little bat ears on it. It's just mostly the wings. And it looks like, I've heard people discuss this, it looks like it was made from a gun. First off, it looks metal, and it looks like the pieces of a gun, like he's taking a gun apart. And the theory is, if that's true, that's probably the gun that killed his parents. And there's some precedent for that, because in a Batman story, they did this Batman story where they've done a couple of stories. That's the thing I love about DC Comics, is they have to pick and choose history. And year 2, Batman recovered the gun and used it in that story. And recently they did a story where he had recovered the gun and melted it down and built it into his body armor, right over his heart, which is actually really sweet and thoughtful. So, I mean, there's the thinking that maybe that's what he did. Maybe he recovered this gun and has turned it into the very symbol. That's kind of awesome if that's what they're doing. I've heard also people theorize that it's a batarang. I don't know. I don't think that's as cool. I'm hoping that is the first theory. And then of course you see him kind of walking about, and you get to see some angles of him. What's interesting is we only get to see parts of him. We don't get to really see the full cape. We don't really get to see him under his chest. We don't get to see the belt and the rest of the costume. We don't even get to see the ears. It's all close up. So we don't get to see, how long they are, the shape of them, which era of Batman ears are they doing. And you only kind of sort of see his eyes a little bit. So I think he looks great. I think he looks really cool. And I always felt he would look good as a young Batman. His jawline looks really good, and it looks good in the suit. Looks good in the mask. I like the design of the mask as well. It's nice and pointy. A couple of live action Batmans have had more of a rounder face. Like the Christian Bale face had, I don't know. I mean, I like the costumes overall, but the the face, I don't know. Maybe I don't know if it was design of the mask or just the way the mask fit over Christian Bale's the shape of his head. It always had this extra round kind of like quality to it that didn't quite look right in some shots. Some shots it looked fine, some it did not. Um, like that's probably one of the reasons maybe why he was always trying to like lurch forward and down because it looked cooler that way. But this one, I don't know, it's really nice and angular. It looks a little bit more homemade. Because if this is like early Batman, then he's like doing literally everything himself and literally everything himself for the first time. So, anybody who's made anything, the first time when you make something, it's not always perfect. It's not always like perfected. So I kind of like that quality to it. Let's see what the viewers at home think right now as we check over here our live chat. Let's see. Bizarre Critic is, let's see, I'm surprised they went with the original bat symbol from his first appearance. King John is, I was surprised how much it looked like the Arkham origin suit. His cowl looks interesting. The bat symbol looks really cool. I've heard that too. I'm not a video game person, so I don't really have that kind of like connection with it, but I've been listening to people react to it that way, and I've seen some people even watched a couple of reaction videos to it because I'm a doofus. I've heard some people like do reaction videos and the first words out of their mouth is the Arkham game. Phil Kelton, the gun became the bat. Let's see, that sounds cheesy. I feel the gun being around is more more like haunting item to have in the Batcave. Let's see, we recently got a closer look at the mask. It seems to be stitched together. That's something I thought of when I first saw it too. It had that kind of, I couldn't see the stitching, but you can kind of like sense it, if that makes any sense. Let's see. This is a Batman that's going to actually be an inventor. Yeah. I I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to. We did see a little bit of that in the Christian Bale Batman, but to be honest, a lot of the Christopher Nolan Batman had stuff done for him, which was believable in some ways and also a little bit frustrating. It's like, hey, why you can't have Fox do everything for you, and you can't. It did seem like he had Fox and all his other extended dads do like every little thing for him, so he could go out and do his stuff, but. I don't know. I'm hoping we get to see a little bit more of that. And of course, when we had the uh, Ben Affleck version of Batman, we've already like kind of gone past that era where everything's all set. Where are we here? King John. In the comics, he is described as one. I feel Bane Batman is very much inspired by James Bond. Nolan did like the Bond films, and I'm still surprised Nolan hasn't done a Bond film. He's been kind of doing. That's been, Inception has a Bond quality to it, especially when we got to those point where they're the ski slopes.
Yeah.
And being chased by the guys on like the snowmobiles. Like, man, this is like a James Bond movie. And his new movie has like a very James Bond quality to it. Like the Tenet, yeah, that has a lot of James Bond quality. I don't know. I guess a few years ago I've been thinking like he should do a Bond film, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like Bond. I don't know. I don't know how much of a future Bond has in the way it has been over the last few decades. Like, either it should change completely or end, and studio is not going to just let it end. It's going to have to end. It's going to have a natural death where people just don't see them anymore. Let's see. Phil Kelton, I saw the trailer. I know what everybody's talking about. Bizarre Critic, if they do have Batman be an inventor, if they do have Batman get an inventor on his side, I kind of wish to be like Harold. That would be cool, but I really doubt they'll use Harold. Harold had, I don't know if Harold's been in the comics since the 90s. I haven't seen him in such a long time. Let's see, King John. Villains are what I'm interested in the most. We haven't seen the Riddler in a film in a while. In TV, yeah, in video games, sure, but not since the Jim Carrey, nothing. And that's true. And I think that has partly to do with the fact that Riddler, to do him very well, you kind of have to write him extremely well. Like, his riddles have to be clever and they have to make sense within the context of the plot. And they have to be something that you can kind of like try and figure out, and maybe not too hard for the audience, but hard enough to feel like it's smart, and Batman's smart for figuring them out. And they often will have like double meanings. So like, oh yeah, the riddle means this, but it also really connects to these things he's doing. So yeah, I guess that can be a challenge for some writers. And of course, film, Hollywood tends to think of him as, the Frank Gorshin and the Jim Carrey type of Riddler. I would love to see a Riddler in the vein of like, Batman animated series where he's really a calm, manipulating weasel. I don't know if we'll ever see that in film. I mean, that'd be cool. Let's see, where are we here? We're doing more. Hush died in Batman. Excuse me. Harold died in Batman. Hush? Oh, he did die in Hush? Oh, he was the one who told Hush who Batman was. Oh, I gotta double check that. That story is so convoluted, it's easy to forget anything. Let's see. Seems like he's using armor sort of like the Arkham Knight. Yeah. I wonder how much it's going to resemble that. That video game is very influential on Batman. Like Batman versus Superman. I mean, we get that like warehouse fight that has a very Arkham quality to it. Let's see. Least hot take: Riddler doesn't need to be psychotically murderous at all. Yeah, that's a nice way to distinguish him from some of the other characters. I know some people would like to see him get viciously murdery and psychopathic, but those are words. But I don't know. I think that to have him more of a thief, to have him not like an Arkham level insane person, I think is interesting. Although, I mean, you could consider him a crazy person because he's like so sociopathic that he thinks he could pass along clues purposely to what he's doing and gets away with it. But I don't know if that qualifies as criminally insane. But let's see. A lot of serial killers did that kind of thing. Now that I think about it, like famous serial killers like Wright.
Yeah.
You follow.
Serial killers tend to start writing things when they start feeling invincible. Like they'll start writing to either the police or newspapers.
Yeah.
I guess because I don't know why, but they start doing it like BTK.
Yeah.
He was contacting the police, telling them things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually how he got caught, because he was too cocky.
That's right.
And he asked a stupid question. He asked them, hey, if I send you a floppy disk with my info on it, and you like crack it open and stuff, you won't be able to figure anything out on it, will you? Like, no, just send it to us. And he sent it to them, and they figured it out, and they caught him.
Yep.
He was an arrogant dick.
Yep. The lesson is no criminal is as smart as they think they are.
No.
And Hollywood, you think criminals are super geniuses, and they're not. They're people who screw themselves all the time like that. Let's see. Oh man, we got a bunch of, let's see. Hot take, Riddler's cool with Batman. Least hot take, Riddler. Oh, I already wrote that part. Read that part. Phil Kelton, you can make almost any Batman villain good, They're a reflection of the character and a criticizing certain aspect of society. Well, yeah, that's true. They're all really good except Hush. And let's see. Please use more meta-human villains like Clayface, Mr. Freeze, and Killer Croc. Yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool to see some of those guys pop up. The Riddler put to test the intelligence of the Riddler put to test the intelligence of the Riddler average citizen of Gotham. Yeah, the suit seems to have a collar like the White Knight suit. I noticed that too, and I actually would very much like to see more of that. I think that kind of looks neat. Also reminds me of Mike Mignola's. I can't remember the name of it. The one where it's the Elseworld where he fights Jack the Ripper. Gotham by Gaslight.
Mm-hmm.
He has kind of a collar in that too. A little bit more of a Victorian era, of course, but he has a kind of cool collar with that. Let's see. King John said Zodiac Killer inspired Riddler. You could, if you do the story in present day, yeah, you could do things like that. Like, while he's not like a killer, he could like go, those idiots, they messed up. Let me show you how to do it. That could be a really interesting take, that he could be inspired by these guys. Stumble Real. Well, not really sociopathic, just cockiness. The Thief, a note trope has started with Lupin back in the 1900s. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of a classic. Don't forget, Riddler was created, what, in the 40s? So, I mean, that's a classic, like, villain trope. Like, ho, 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 ho. Yeah, let me write on here. This is where I'm going to be. You can't catch me. He also had one in the Elseworlds with Houdini, which I feel like it. Let's see, that was kind of fun. I forgot about the Batman Houdini Elseworlds. Riddler could use the internet to muck with the cops, and yeah, I don't know, Riddler doesn't use the internet as much as you think he would. I guess he's kind of more of an old school kind of Riddler kind of type, and the internet goes crazy trying to figure out his riddles. You know what? What would be cool, and this is me as a writer thinking now, what would be cool is to see how the average person in Gotham would try and interpret these riddles. And you can do this in film, or you can do this in comics. There was an episode, one of my favorite episodes of Ghost in the Shell standalone complex was like almost the entire episode. Major Kusanagi goes into a chat room and listens to people discuss the case she's currently working on, the Laughing Man case, and trying to theorize to kind of like, gauge, some like ideas. And she like, it's kind of an interesting idea because you get to see the people of Japan kind of like, debate, the case of the Laughing Man. And it's a really interesting way of her kind of like mining ideas to kind of look into it. That would kind of be cool to do with the Riddler, where, if the Riddler really did exist, the internet would never shut up about him. It would always be talking about him. And that would feed into his own ego, obviously. Have you seen any of the Lupin the Third anime? Yes, I've seen the one on Netflix, The Castle, I think it is.
Castle of Cagliostro?
Yes, seen that one. That one's gorgeous. And I've seen a few episodes of the TV series. It's fun. And I'm very excited about the CG film. I don't know if it's going to get a decent release in the States, or if it's just I'm just gonna have to watch it on video. I'd love to see it on the big screen. Because it looks, I mean, it's CG, but boy, is it done in the style of the old show. And that's something I'm getting excited about for the last few years about CG is CG animators have been kind of like bringing back kind of like the looks and feels of 2D animation, which I don't know, it's just, I think made it more vibrant. Uh, let's see. Where am I here? I'm lost. Let's see. You ever see the show Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Let's see, because there was a killer in an episode that honestly fit well with his personality. I've watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I really do like that show. I haven't seen every episode, and I have not seen this one, but I'd really like to see see those characters work with that kind of guy. You know what unification is? I I don't. You mean the concept, or I don't know. I'm guessing no. Let's see. Oh, that won't be here for a long time. King John says John Wick films uh, did the idea of Society of Assassins and Killers so well. It's almost like how I'd like to see League of Assassins, Haley Berry have, let's see, Haley Berry have me Talia al Ghul vibes. Different with the Nolans, yeah. Um, I guess we could go back. Yeah, I guess we could do the League of Assassins stuff. Um, that'd be kind of cool. I'm very, I've been kind of loose on finding out what really this film is about, and I assume we're going to want to do a series of Batman films. And I think I mentioned this in my Birds of Prey uh, spoiler cast, which here's a plug. Go check out my Birds of Prey spoiler cast. I just posted a couple days ago with Ian over at Sid Part 2. And one of the things I talked about was we're at a pretty exciting time for the DCEU. I know it's not really technically the DCEU anymore, but I like to call it that. The DC films, I think we're at an exciting time because I think they have kind of cracked the code on what makes DC interesting, and they've been applying it to films where they're not just having one particular version of the films kind of paint the whole canvas, and that they're allowing filmmakers to kind of like go in different directions, that these characters are all in different directions, which is why you get Aquaman, you get Shazam, you get Joker, you get Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, and now you got this Batman film coming up, which is going to have its own vibe, and the Wonder Woman one, which Wonder Woman 84, which has its own 80s kind of vibe, and Patty Jenkins is kind of free to kind of be more of the more in control of this one. So I don't know. I'm kind of seeing if there's going to be like a more connecting tissue between all these films. I'm very interested to see that. It may have a lot to do with the success of Wonder Woman 84 and the Batman. Let's see, where are we here? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean unification. I meant unfiction. I don't even know what that means. Check out a YouTube channel called Night Mind. I think it'll be cool in terms of the Riddler. Bizarre Critic. This film, the film seems to be a combination of Year One and Long Halloween and Dark Victory, where Gotham Underworld is the main focus. That sounds cool. I really like that idea. I really like the Gotham Underworld, and there's something about the way Batman writers deal with gangsters and underworld guys. I don't know if I've always really. They always like show up and then get all killed, and like whatever story it's in comic books or in film. Like I don't know, it's just like, hey, this one crazy guy with a gun and a gimmick kills all these mobsters. I don't know. I'd like to see, because that stuff is more entrenched in society, unfortunately. So I'd like to kind of see. I'd like to see that more done with bit more staying power. Let's see. King John says, "Please, WB, give us a Superman. Well done for us, please." And yeah, I agree. I don't know how the CW Superman is going to be playing into that. Like, are they going to not do a Superman film because they have a Superman TV show? I don't know. Look, you can do both. You've been trying to do a Flash film when you had this Flash TV series. I don't know. Just do it. Just do it. Just go ahead. You don't care. You obviously don't care. Just go and do it. Or shit, is it that bad if you just make the CW Superman or the Brandon Routh Superman? Like let's give that guy a movie back. Let's bring him back. I feel like the Crisis was almost an apology to Brandon Routh. Like we're sorry, we neglected you and didn't enjoy you when we had you. Here you go. And they kind of gave him like a send off a little bit. But to be honest, who cares? Let's bring him back as like the DC films Superman. Not the one he played in Returns and in Crisis, which was a continuation of Christopher Reeve. This would be his own thing. Let's see. AKA Superman, like the Superman from animated series. Yeah. I really like the animated series Superman. Bruce Timm doesn't understand Superman as well as he understands Batman. He's almost there. He almost has him. He understands Superman better than he understands Wonder Woman. And Batman, he just God. I mean, that was redefining Batman for generations after that. So of course he understands Batman the best. Let's see, but yeah, I really do like his Superman. It was quite good. King John, gangsters. I like the idea of a Joker being a hitman before falling into the chemicals. Yeah, I always like that stuff with him, kind of like either being a hitman, like being a real made guy, or being like kind of a henchman flunky. I always liked Alan Moore's idea of him being a guy kind of talked into it, not really like a vicious, mean guy, but he's kind of like a guy down on his luck, and he decides, look, I'll just do this one thing with these gangsters, and then his whole world's destroyed. I always kind of liked that take on him. Let's see, Bizarro Critic. I think Crisis, DC, and WB don't seem to give a damn don't seem to give a damn anymore on having two live interpretations. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, from what I understand, I think I may have brought this up in a previous episode, but I'll bring it up since we're talking about it. I've heard like the showrunner of Flash, the showrunner of the CW shows, he was talking about how Warner Brothers called him up and goes, hey, we can get the guy from the Flash movies to make an appearance. Can you write a scene this week and do it? And I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, of course. It was the studio's idea to put the movie Flash in a cameo, which makes me think that they did that for a reason. And I feel like they did it for a reason to explain partly why things are going to be different. Like, oh, hey, this version of the Joker is different. Why is that? Well, because of the Crisis that, changed things. Oh, hey, Batman is different. Like, oh, no, it's because of Crisis. And, it's kind of gives them a mulligan on a few things, so they can readjust things. And I also do wonder if we're going to recreate that scene for whatever Flash movie they eventually make. Like maybe he has that scene with the TV Flash and goes, holy crap, I need to do this other thing. And that kind of starts him on a journey his own way. At least that's what I'm thinking. They might even recreate that scene or something like that, with better production value and stuff. Let's see, where are we going here? So let's see. Not the Superman from the Justice League cartoon. That guy was a dick. I've heard Bruce Timm talk about that because they really were concerned when they got into like the second season of Justice League, because they have been rightfully taken to task that Superman got knocked down a lot in the first season of the show. Like he was easily beaten all the time, and it's kind of true. And then in the second season of Justice League, he got really and added, like, they kind of overcorrected. Like, he was kind of a little bit more aggressive than he usually is. To some episodes where like Batman was the guy talking him down. It's like, okay, you don't have to over tough him. It's fine. Um, that's why, Bruce Timm and company did a great job with Superman. I really do love their Superman, but he's not quite. He's a little bit more. I don't know. He's a little bit more aggressive than he needs to be, and not as smart as he needs to. Not as smart as he usually is. Um, let's see. Phil, I don't want a Joker in the Batman movie. I love the Joker movie. I just want to take a break from the Joker. I mean, yeah, come on. Look, I think we're all feeling Harley Quinn. We just need a break from the Joker. I don't know. It's just I've been kind of enjoying a break from Batman, frankly. So there are other villains in this universe, so let's have fun with them. There's other villains in just Batman's book, for God's sakes. Okay, King John says Suicide Squad 2. We got a mongrel daughter, so we may get DC not forgetting about Superman. The dad was like, oh man, you're bringing up Suicide Squad 2 with James Gunn. I am very excited for that. I mean, the first Suicide Squad is terrible. God, I can't wait for the second one. I've seen some test footage of Harley Quinn. I don't know if you've seen. There's some not test footage. Excuse me. On the set footage of Harley in this long red gown, and some. I think it's boots. I think she's wearing boots, and running around some street or something like that. And it looks great. I absolutely can't wait for James Gunn and Margot Robbie to work together on this character. I'm all in. Okay, I think we're back. Let me just resume my page here. Okay. Hey, let me know. Okay, are you with me? We lost I think I lost the connection for a second. Okay, we're good? Okay, we're good? All right, good. That's annoying. That's actually the first time this happened. Even with the crappier phone. So I don't know. I guess we just lost connection. I'll wait until everybody kind of catches up. With some delicious Arizona green tea. I should do some sponsors. That's how you get YouTube people. All right. Looks like most everybody's back. Since Tim Burton, this is Phil Kelton. Since Tim Burton treats the Penguin like Killer Croc, maybe Batman should use Killer Croc like the Penguin. I've seen him played like as a gangster type of guy, and I kind of like that idea. I've never been a big fan of turning him into a monster. I've always liked the fact that he is just a big green tough guy with this leathery type of alligator, crocodile-like skin. I don't know. Some writers just for no reason like make him a monster guy. And I don't know. I like that idea better. I've seen a couple interpretations of him wearing suits and working with gangsters and stuff like that. And I don't know. That'd be a neat way to work him in, especially like in the live action films. Might be a little bit easier to work with. Let's see. He was a gangster in the original stories he appeared in. Yes, I think he was a gangster in the first episode of the animated series, or at least he was like a assassin or something like that, if I remember right. That was a really cool episode. Let's see. King John said Joe Pesci's always been my Penguin in my head. Danny DeVito was such a great casting choice for that. I'll be honest, I have often thought of John Lovitz for the Penguin. Like, they're really kind of like well suited, clean looking, full of himself, kind of like gangster coming from old money and old rich stuff. I would love to see. I don't know if you could do it now, but like definitely, in the '90s, I used to think John Lovitz totally played the Penguin. Um, let's see the reason. Let's see. People just discussing a couple of things here. Blame that on Hush. Threw a rock at him. He did throw a rock at him. Let's see. Yeah, I haven't watched some. I have not watched any of the DCAU in a while. Maybe I should kind of get back into it. It was a big rock. Let's see. We could do the whole episode of me quoting Batman characters. Let's see. Man Bat. That's a cool episode. Oh man, Man Bat would be cool. Let's see. Cersei would be cool for Wonder Woman 3. That would be good because, well, look, we're using Ares in the first one. Cheetah is in the second one, so yeah, I mean, she would be the next big Wonder Woman bad. Although, God, I keep thinking about Dr. Psycho, and I'd love to see Peter Dinklage play Dr. Psycho. I don't know if he'd be up for that, but he's the only choice as far as I'm concerned. I think he would really command at that. Or maybe they'll keep doing the two villain thing, which I don't know why a two villain thing is a thing in movies, but okay. But Cersei would definitely be great. And also use that as a way of getting back to the Amazons a little bit. I still want them to make Zeus. I still want them to make Zeus Wonder Woman's villain. Yeah, let's see. Although, to be honest, I'd love to see Hercules as a Wonder Woman villain because he's basically like a villain. Like in the George Perez version, part of the origins of the Amazons was like Hercules captured the Amazons and put them into slavery and raped Hippolyta. He's not a nice guy. Like he's a really awful guy. He's immortal, so he has popped up a couple times in the DC books, and he's not a hero at all. He's a total bastard, which I think is great. I actually love. I love him being a bad guy in the DC universe, and that would be cool. Man, that would blow people's minds. Put him in a movie like that because movies always treat him like the best hero in the world. And they kind of forget all that other stuff. So yeah, and I'd love to see that put that in the Wonder Woman movie. Let's make Hercules a bad guy. Granny Goodness. I'd love to see Granny Goodness in one of these DC films. I don't know where she'd appear. I don't think they're doing a New Gods film. And I do keep thinking Kathy Bates would be a cool Granny Goodness because she's gotten to that age where she could play it, and we've seen her play vicious villains before, and she would really rock it. Let's see, Wonder Woman versus Cathouse. Let's see, yeah. That's a video game reference. I understand that. Everything bad happens in Greek mythology, you can blame on Zeus. Well, that's true. I ain't gonna argue with that. That is 100% true. Which is why I always sometimes feel like Hera gets a bad rap in some stuff I see. It's like,
yeah, she's just kind of reacting to all the shit that Zeus does.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like sleeping with literally everyone.
Yeah, that's kind of like irritating. Let's see. They are doing a new. Oh, that's right. Thank you. I totally forgot about that. They are doing a New Gods film, and Tom King is involved, as well as the woman who directed Ava Dunavne, who did the The movie about the girl going through dimensions to find her dad. Wrinkle in Time. Thank you.
Oh.
Let's see. Zeus is the ultimate bad. Yeah, he is. He is. Yes, he is. And I'm surprised. Look, Zeus is a character in DC and Marvel, and you don't really see anybody really take him to task at all. Yeah. Okay. Look, it's gonna be. That's going to be a thing. I'll promise you guys. If I get to be a writer at Marvel DC, I will make Zeus and Hercules bad guys. Well, I can't do it at Marvel. He's a good guy at Marvel, but I mean, they'll definitely make him a villain of some kind of story arc because he is kind of a shitbag. Let's see. I won't be doing it at Red Knight because I have a no gods policy on Red Knight. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to really discuss that, and on the Red Knight page or here, but I made a decision a while ago that there would be no gods and no angels and no devils and no demons or anything like that in Red Knight. I was going to play it. I was basically going to kind of write it very agnostic, like no one knows in the universe. They all think they know, just like our universe. So I thought that might be fun. And I thought it'd be more challenging. And so far, I haven't had a chance to really get too deep into it. But every once in a while, I have to kill an idea of like, I can't really use that because, I'm right around it and stuff like that. Make Hercules the result of two Zeus bad parenting makes Zeus 100% evil. Well, yeah, he's pretty 100% evil. Have you seen the animated Deathstroke series? There's an animated Deathstroke series? I mean, it doesn't seem particularly your thing, but I'm just curious. There's an animated Deathstroke series? I didn't know that. I'll see if I can look that up. Is that on like DC Universe? It's very gory. It's on CW Seed. Can I get that? I don't know. I'll look up CW Seed. If that's something I have to pay for, forget it. I decided a while ago I wasn't going to get DC Universe. There were some interesting, tempting things. Doom Patrol looks great. The new Harley Quinn show looks good. I'm not a digital comic guy, so that really doesn't appeal to me. But I feel like I'm going to wait until HBO Max. It's a CW animated series. I'll see if I can find it. I really didn't know it exists until you just mentioned it to me. And let's see. Let me take a look here. I hear dogs barking again.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know if you can hear this on the camera, but the woman who lives underneath us has a dog that will sometimes bark for a million years. And I sometimes have to shoot videos around it. Like there have been times I've had to stop shooting because of the dog. Bizarro Critic can hear it. And you complain to her, and then she gets mad at you for complaining. Like, you know what? Look, there's a no dog policy in this building. So, let's see. Let's see. My dogs can hear it. Oh, man, I'm sorry. I apologize. Thank you for the dog. You should thank the dog for warning you. But anyway, we're getting close to the end here. Well, we hear that dog barking. That means it's time to end the show. I just made that up. And let's see. We'll take another question. Knowing the director will do the New Gods. Let's see. She will cast people color from New Gods. Big Barda. Yeah, I mean that would make sense. It's a different planet. You can really no rules on that stuff. You can pretty much cast whoever you want. Let's see. Quote: "Rolf the dog, bark bark." Yeah. And Stumble Rail. I wish more comic adaptations were animated. Me too. I wish there were more animated films. We get to see it in TV, but we don't get to see films that often. Unfortunately, Mask of the Phantasm wasn't a big hit. I feel like if that was a big hit, then maybe we wouldn't be having this conversation. That would happen every so often, but that's how it goes. Ooh, I like that idea of Orion. I want a claymation superhero film. You know, the people who let's see, who make Coraline. What's that studio is called?
Um, Leica.
Leica. I would love to see Leica do like something. They've already done one Neil Gaiman
Mm-hmm.
book. It'd be cool for them to do something from DC Vertigo. I don't know what, but I mean, just look, have them go through DC Vertigo's library and pick something cool for them to do. Leica would be a great studio for them to do something. All right, hey, I think I'm gonna wrap this up. So thank you for joining me, everybody. Let's see, Ryan. Ryan is a major asshole. But thank you for joining me for this week. We'll be doing another show, hopefully next Saturday at 11 p.m. No promises, but it's looking pretty much like we're back into rotation here for the show. And thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. You can check me out here, of course, on YouTube. I have a new secondary channel on Blair TV. If you've never heard of Blair, it's basically like YouTube back in 2007. So I have a channel there if you want to watch some videos there. You can, of course, hit me up on social media, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can support this channel on Patreon, and I've expanded it to my written work, so you can actually get looks at my scripts for Red Knight and YouTube, as well as other things I have coming down the pike. So I think that's going to be it for now. So thanks everybody for joining us. Hope you had a good time, and we'll see you next week. And Lindsay says bye.
Bye.
And I say goodbye, and take care, everybody. Good night.